Hello, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Literary Love 123, where I like to use my master's degree in English to discuss the horror genre and occasionally other genres as well from an academic and literary standpoint. However, I like to just have fun talking about books and hearing back from you about your favorite and least favorite books. So today's video is a tag video, and this tag is the quarter year crisis book tag. I was tagged by E.D. Lewis Reviews, so I'm going to link his channel and his tag video down in the description box below. So after a quick intro, we'll get started on this tag. There are 9 prompts in the quarter year crisis book tag. So let's start with number 1. The first prompt is, how many books have you read so far this year? I have read 43 books this year. I read through a combination of physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks. So, using all of those platforms really helps me read more books. My goal this year is 100, but I'm trying not to get too caught up in that, right? Because reading should be pleasurable. So, the second question is, have you already found a book you think might be a 2024 favorite? Yes, I have found 2 books so far this year that would definitely hit my favorites of the year. The first one is A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. In this book, we're following food writer Dorothy Daniels, who is not only enamored with culinary delights, but also sexual and murderous and possibly cannibalistic delights as well. And it's definitely going to hit my top 10 favorites of 2024. The next book that I know is going to be in my favorites list, and at this point is in the top spot so far. So we'll see what happens the rest of the year. You've heard me talk about this book several times on my channel, and that is The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Keist. This book really does something unique, is something very creative with the whole idea of being haunted. It connects to past trauma. There is just so much happening in this book, and I just cannot stop recommending it. So I will stop talking about it now because I have talked at length about it several times. So the next question is, any 1-star books or your least favorite book of the year? If you have followed me, you know the answer here. That is Bluebeard's Castle by Anna Biller. 1 star. I'm not even going to dignify it with any sort of synopsis or discussion here. If you would like to hear my thoughts on it, I will link the live show that Jackie from Jersey Ghouls and I did on Elizabeth Sagewood's channel to discuss the atrocity that is Bluebeard's Castle. So I'll link that in the description if you want to know about that book. Okay, so number 4 is most read genre so far, horror. No surprise there. Number 5 is a book that surprised you. So the first book I want to talk about that has surprised me this year is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. This is a YA book, which I'm very picky about the YA books that I consume, but this one really worked for me. It is dark. The author is not afraid to really go there with dark themes, with body horror. This one I talk about in another one of my videos that will be coming or will have already come out this past Sunday, a couple of days ago, where I talk about books to read if you like certain movies. So I will link that video down in the description box below also, so you can check that out to hear more about House of Hollow. But it surprised me how much the author was willing to go into realms of darkness and just yeah, these some of these descriptions were pretty grotesque, and I absolutely loved it. So if you're not really interested in most YA, I encourage you to check out House of Hollow because it pleasantly surprised me. The other book that I want to talk about that surprised me is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. At this point, I've read and finished not only My Heart is a Chainsaw, but also the second book in the Indian Lake trilogy, which is Don't Fear the Reaper. I have coming up soon on my TBR, I'm going to be reading the final installment of this trilogy, The Angel of Indian Lake. But let me talk about why My Heart is a Chainsaw surprised me. So I have tried on 3 different occasions to physically read this author's The Only Good Indians, and I've ended up DNFing it every single time because his writing style I felt like just would not work for me. Now, with that being said, I listened to a couple of his short stories on audio a while back and enjoyed both of them. I listened to The Clown Brigade and Night of the Mannequins. And I found that his writing style, I was able to get into it and enjoy it when I listened to it in audio format. So I was, experiencing FOMO, hearing everybody talk about the Angel of Indian Lake. And then, of course, before that, Don't Fear the Reaper, My Heart is a Chainsaw. And I was like, I have to try. So, because I'd had a good experience on audio with Stephen Graham Jones, I thought the best way to go into My Heart is a Chainsaw would be to listen to the audiobook. So, that's what I did. And I absolutely loved it. His writing style is very unique. It's very stream of consciousness. I also enjoyed My Heart is a Chainsaw because it is an homage to slasher movies because the main character, Jade Daniels, is obsessed with slasher movies. She writes essays about these slasher movies, and those are interspersed throughout the chapters of the story as it's taking place. And I just absolutely fell in love with her character, and was excited to finish reading that one. Gave it 5 stars. Immediately started listening to Don't Fear the Reaper, finished it, gave it 5 stars. And I am looking forward to listening to The Angel of Indian Lake sometime, I hope in May, but I've got other things planned, so it may not actually be until June before I listen to that one. And this has also got me thinking that I perhaps need to go back and revisit The Only Good Indians on audio and see if that would work for me. So those are 2 very pleasant surprises I've had. One YA experience, and then an experience with an author that I previously had felt like was not for me. Okay, so the next question is a book that's come out in 2024 that you want to read but haven't yet. And that is The Day of the Door by Laurel Hightower. I loved this author's Crossroads, which is a novella that deals with grief and the lengths that a mother will go to restore her child back to life. The sacrifices that a mother will make in order to spend time with her deceased child. And it was so brilliantly written, definitely with vibes of Pet Cemetery. I talk about Crossroads in my movie and book recommendations video too, which I mentioned a moment ago, which will be linked down below. But let's talk a little bit about the synopsis of The Day of the Door. Once there were four Lascaux siblings banded together against a world that failed to protect them. But on a hellish night that marked the end of their childhood, eldest brother Sean died violently after being dragged behind closed doors. Though the official finding was accidental death, Nathan Lascaux knows better and has never forgiven their mother, Stella. Now, 2 decades later, Stella promises to finally reveal the truth of what happened on the day of the door. Accompanied by a paranormal investigative team, the Lascaux family comes together one final time, but no one is prepared for the revelations waiting for them on the third floor. I love the cover too. It looks so creepy, and this sounds so good. So the next prompt is one goal you made that you're succeeding at. And this goal for me is to start or relaunch my booktube channel. That's a goal I had this year. I started in January. My subscriber numbers are so they'll kind of go up just by a little bit, and then the next thing I know, I've dropped like one or two subscribers. I have no idea why people subscribe and then unsubscribe, but I'm just trying to enjoy my time here on booktube and trying not to get too caught up in the numbers. And I'm really proud of myself for reaching out of my comfort zone and starting this channel. And I'm thankful for the connections I've made so far. And like I said, whatever happens, if I never hit a high number of subscribers, I know I'm thankful that I'm able to do this. And this is something that is for me. And I'm really proud of myself for attempting and going forward in this goal. The next prompt is one goal you made you need to focus on. So, for this, I'm going to say that I need to focus more on reading more books that I already own. I've had some success with that this year, but I've also purchased several books and read them before I read what I own. This is a goal I'm going to revisit mid year and kind of then assess how I'm doing so far with that goal. Finally, the last prompt is new to you booktubers, bookstagrammers, and booktokers for 2024 that you recommend. I have discovered several new booktubers this year, and I wish I could tag all of them. However, I'm going to focus on 8 in this video, and I will link their channels down below. And in no certain order, these channels are Cozy Jess, Grace Silva, Spooky Little Book Nerd, Cliff's Dark Gems, Michael Wurtenberg, Nicole's Bookish Nook, Dark Violet Dreams, and Moonlight Amethyst. If you are watching this video and you would like to do this tag, please do so. If you do record your own tag video, I would love it for you to tag me so that way I can watch your video. If you have enjoyed this, then I would appreciate it if you would hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so you won't miss a video from me. Bye. Hopping back in real quick to say that this tag was created by Royson's Reading, and I will tag that channel in the description box as well. Bye again.